How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Counterside video. And I'm going to be straight with you guys. This is not my first time recording this. The global new origin update is here. Here's the patch notes for it and our February 8th patch notes, which are two separate patch notes for some reason. And yeah, I've looked through this. I've read through this more than once now. And to be honest, I feel like I knew about as much after reading it as I did before reading it. It's not really that clear. They don't really make a lot of things, apparent. So I'm not going to read through all of this. I tried doing that. That took way too long, and at the end of the day, we really didn't learn anything new reading through all of it. There were a few things in here that were, new information, like how much it costs to craft maze gear, but without context of how much drops doing the missions and stuff, we don't really know if that's a lot or a little. So I will say they have updated the new origin patch notes with some more images and stuff that do make things a little bit more clear. So I would encourage everybody to kind of go and scroll through on your own. But at the end of the day, I don't think it makes anything really more understood than it was before, so we really are going to wait until we get our hands on it in-game to see how everything looks. Of course, I will leave the link to the patch notes, both February 8th, New Origin, and all of that in the description of the video, so you're welcome to go check those out. But yeah, there's not a whole lot I can give you out of this patch notes that's informational, but a few highlights, if there were any, from the global New Origin update is the new UI looks really clean. It looks super nice. It is a huge upgrade, and I am a fan. And I think all of you will be too. It all looks great. Each of the side stories, now named substreams, have their own shop. And you can see here kind of an example of what looks like the very first substream shop. Hilda pieces, some crafting stuff for ships, and then cores, and then fusion core fragments, which are important for limit breaking R and normal employees, we learned in here. So it looks really nice. Really cool little highlight from it is the favorite feature. Any mission you have completely cleared 3-starred, you can add it to a favorites, and so you have quick access to it. And I think that's a really neat little quality of life feature. Maybe putting your daily or your regular grinded missions on there. So thumbs up for that. Another little highlighted bit that I wanted to talk about was that the Shadow Palace molds that you would exchange your the shadow fragments for, those are being removed, and you can just craft Shadow Palace gear at any time using the shadow fragments now. So you can see the recipe right there. The only downside to that, because honestly I kind of like that, the only downside is that it's using the blue mold instead of the purple one that had a decent chance of giving you the SSR gear, but oh well. This is probably better in the long run, but again, I'm assuming the fragment drop rate is about the same, and if that's how much it costs to make one with our current fragment drop rate, they will need to buff the fragment drop rate, because it feels kind of small. Other than that, the 3 relic dungeons are being consolidated into their drops, I believe. I believe that's what the relic dungeon drops are called. Into one drop for ease of access. And then there's the recipe for the maze gear, like I mentioned before, but without knowing how much of these dimension cubes drop, we don't really know how expensive or inexpensive that is. We know that's 2,000 of that, which is quite a bit, and that's 10 million credits, which is quite a bit, so need to up the drop rates on those, that's for sure. There's a huge section here on dives that, I would encourage you to come and read if you want to try and make sense of it. I've tried reading through it a couple times, and I can't really make heads or tails of it. There's no new information in here that really explains anything super clearly. Again, I don't know if the patch notes were just lacking because of translation issues or what, or they just didn't put the information in there, but I really couldn't make heads or tails of it. And so I know just about as much before as I did now. So I don't want to make any comments on it, but there's a huge little write-up here maybe if you read it, it'll make more sense to you. I tried reading it when these dropped, and I was super tired. I'm trying reading it now, and I'm like wide awake, and I'm just like, I'm not getting new information out of this. So, what I can say, the one new information I can say is once you use one of these little daily tickets you get, it's used. You're not getting it back. Whether you fail, whether you quit, whatever, you're not getting it back. So, be ready when you use it. It's gone. Of course, there is the Capital Point event where I'm assuming we'll be doing missions. We'll get points, and you can exchange them for rewards. There's some of the rewards down here, an awakened selector, a random awakened unit, set binaries, random SSR unit, SSR selectors, Breacha and inhibitor T7 gear selectors, ship selector. There's a lot of nice stuff in here to get, and it's there for 40 days, so plenty of time to get all of that. Get your awakened stuff first, obviously. And of course, a Counterside New Origin punch-in. Other nice things, Awakened Selector, very nice. So, a lot of good stuff coming in that too. And here's a quick little bit, right here, it says it's like the fourth thing here, but after the update, the farm mission for the exclusive equipments for the Fallen Hawk units will be up for about 2 weeks, so you can farm some EEs for the Fallen Hawk members if you don't have them. Guys, I can't remember if they've run before or not. I don't think they have. I think this is their first time in Global, but maybe it's not. So, but regardless, you can farm the EEs for Fallen Hawk, and if you haven't before, or if none of us have before, we can do it now. But it'll be up for like 2 weeks, it seems. So you can farm those. And then last little bit I'm going to touch on from the Origin update patch notes is they are doing a community event, a skin emoticon contest. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. But essentially, artists, this is all you. You can go out there and design a skin for your favorite character, submit it, and you have a chance of it becoming an actual skin in-game. So this is a really cool contest for people. I love to see community events like this. These are great. I love to see artists do their thing. So all power to you guys. I look forward to seeing the submissions and entries, and yeah, best of luck. This is going to be cool to see what comes out of it. But with all that being said, that's really the big things I wanted to point out from the New Origin update patch notes. Like I said, I've said it I think more than once now. None of this is really clear. It doesn't explain anything really well. And like I said, I don't know if that's just they were bad at explaining, whether it's too much information here and it just, kind of overloads itself, or, which I don't think it's that personally, or it's just a matter of poor translations. Like, this has been updated since from its initial drop at 1 a.m. But even then, even with, that update with the new images and a few other things they've put in here to try and clarify, at the end of the day, I don't feel like any information was given that we didn't really have before. So that's that, and that's all I'm really going to touch on from the New Origin update patch notes. Again, link in the description if you want to look through them yourself. There's a lot here, and the images are nice. We have a whole day until we can actually get into the game, so if you really want to know, now's a good time to read through it. But with all of that being said, I will jump ahead to our February 8th patch notes and what's in there. And now for our February 8th patch notes. So this is... okay, I will start off by saying here at the beginning, the shop patch notes I'm not going to go over this week because not really a lot there. It does cover some of the changes to some things there, including a change to the monthly admin coin pack, giving you less initially but more overall. So, not quite a fan of that. I like the more overall. I just hate that we're getting less initially, because sometimes that initial push was kind of relevant, but potato, not really that big a deal. But nothing really major in there to go over, but you're welcome to look at that. I'll leave the link for that as well in the description. And then, of course, the New Origin update notes, which I already talked about. But as for this, Mainstream Episode 8, Stormbringer, my boy Jake, I'm excited. And here he is. The brand new Mainstream Episode 8 will be opened after the update, and I can tell you I'm looking forward to playing it immensely. So along with that, Jake, new Awakened unit, is here. And you can expect a summon video from me as soon as the servers are live. I'll be hopping in to record my summons and throw it up as a video for you all to check out. Hopefully I'm lucky. Hopefully, because I really like Jake, and I really have something I want to use him for, so my fingers are crossed. Let's see. Again, Jake's art, fantastic. Normal missions for Awaken units, so very cool there. New counterpass, Carlotta. Carlotta is here. This art is fantastic. That sword is beautiful. I mean, I get all the counterpasses anyways, so this isn't, you know, too big a deal for me. But this will be our first counterpass with the new, you can see it there with the fusion cores. It is using the new counterpass where you're not getting all the dupes, you're getting extra fusion cores and fusion core fragments and stuff, so that's up. I'm getting her, so yeah. Overall, you know, if you want the opinion on her herself, I'll come back to that. But I'll say it, most of the time your counterpass, you know, even if the unit's bad, it's a good get because of all of the extra stuff. So I'll say that. And then some reruns. Awaken unit reruns for Replacer Queen. I wouldn't recommend summoning Replacer Queen because, like, Zhao can do everything Queen does. The best thing to have Replacer Queen now is when, you know, Zhao's on ban or whatever for PvP, you can use Queen for a sniper. She's a great unit. I'm not saying Replacer Queen isn't great. If you don't have Queen, if she's a waifu for you, go for it, definitely. She just isn't, you know, game-breaking or standout when, you know, like the best sniper in the game right now is just something that almost everybody has. So, and then I think Jake is a better go for at the moment. Ministra is also being rerun, and Ministra is a very good unit, and I couldn't blame you for going for her. Love Ministra. I love Queen too. Like, don't get me wrong, I summoned for Queen. I think Queen is an amazing unit. I just think, you know, picking and choosing, you maybe not pick Queen with other things up. And one of the reasons is Ministra's up. Ministra is, of course, a fantastic unit and also a solid choice to go for. So, couldn't blame you for summoning for her whatsoever. She's really good. And then, this one kind of hurts. It's Hilde, who, if you don't have Hilde and she's your waifu, go for it. All power to you. But in reality, I think you should definitely be summoning for Jake over Hilde, because he just does everything Hilde does, but maybe a little bit more, especially when mechs are the opposition, so. But Hilde is still very good, and there are things that Hilde does that Jake doesn't do. Like, Hilde, even without a perfect set of gear, is a solid unit, so very, very good. Jake sometimes does need his gear to be on point, so. But Hilde, awesome unit, love to see it. New and returned employee recruitment probability up. New unit, Jaina Kropel. If we look over here at the Pride win for Jaina, DCC at the top there. If you look at the overall breakdown, she has a little bit of use in raids and guild co-op, but overall, unless she is your waifu, unless Replacer Queen, before she was Replacer Queen, is your waifu, this is a skip, I think. So I wouldn't worry about summoning for her. I'm heavily tempted to throw some blue tickets at her, but I'm going to try and refrain. Give me the power to refrain. But there's her kit. You want to take a look at that. New unit in Gambler. Kind of a weird thing that Gambler is added now, when Gambler was a part of the Alpha Trick story. Why wasn't she added back during the Alpha Tricks event? A little weird. Gambler's kind of the same thing if we go over to Pride Win. Nope, that's Nicole. Unless she's a waifu, I wouldn't summon for her. Like, across the board. Oh, they don't have her breakdown here. Strange. But right here at the top, it's DDC. Nothing stand out. So, unless she's a waifu, maybe skip Gambler. This one will be easy for me to skip, I have to admit. But I love the chess aspect of her kit, though. That's kind of cool. I knew it was a part of her character, but having it a part of her kit, really cool. And then Nicole, you probably guessed this after my little slip up. Again, the Grimory's Bar event just ended. Why didn't she run with Grimory? I don't know. It's kind of strange. Nicole, however, does actually have a little bit of use. B, C, C, B, 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 B. And she'll be pretty decent in PvP at start, but as more stuff comes out, it'll kind of knock her down a little bit. But, yeah, she's an okay unit. She has some uses, and, you know, if you liked her from the event, there's a reason to summon for her, so. I want to summon for her, but I don't know that I will. I haven't decided. Like I said, I don't have a lot of blue tickets, and I probably would do better to hold on to them, so. But she is here, so very exciting to see her added. And then the rerun section. King Soo-young is being rerun. Lee Xiaoyun, or Soo-young, rerun. And Lee Yumi, rerun. And Rosaria Lefried, rerun. Frederick Doma, rerun. And okay. A lot of reruns too, like holy crap. None of these are really stand out as far as reruns go. King is a solid rerun choice, I suppose. As much as I love Lee Soo-young, I wouldn't recommend. Lee Yumi is a very solid, like, low-cost defender when you need low-cost defenders for whatever reason. Very solid. Rosaria is a really solid unit, really good unit. I could definitely, support some blue tickets for her if you don't have her. She's an air unit, does really good damage. Do love her. Frederick Doma don't only really sees use in guild co-op, so not a lot of uses for him, but love the design. And then, of course, we have new rearms. Investigator King. So King gets her rearm. Dark 7 Sylvia. Sylvia gets her rearm. Very nice. And Xiaolin gets her second rearm. All three of these rearms are super solid PvP rearms. Not a lot of PvE usage for any of them. They're mostly PvP picks. So if you're a big PvP player, any of these rearms, solid choices. Let's see. And I think that's it. Yep, Grimory is added to the general pool for most of your banners, and then that's it. So that's our, February 8th patch notes. A lot of banners, and then Chapter 8 Episode 8 of the main story. Very excited for all of this. Very excited to get my hands on the new Origin update to actually see how any of this works. And as for Carlotta, I said I'd briefly mention her here. So, let me pull her up here. So Carlotta is B, B, A in the guild co-op, B, 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 and A and C, but B for us, it says. Interesting. She's an okay, overall just an okay unit, with a defender with some healing in her kit, so very nice. She's not a bad addition to the roster, I think like for anybody, I think she might be nice to get. I think in terms of counterpass characters, she is not the top tier of counterpass characters, but she's probably right there in that middle section of it's a good one to get. So that's Carlotta. And then the big highlight is Jake, and like I said, I will have a summon video coming to you all for that. But yeah, that's all the patch notes. That's everything. The new Origin update, the February 8th patch notes, that's everything. The links for all of this in the description again. I've said it several times now. Sorry for my repetition. Will be in the description for you to check out on your own if you'd like. I did have a account showcase I wanted to record and throw up before this, but I did not know about the 24-hour maintenance, so I missed my shot there. So that's not happening. Sorry, but you will have your summon video for Jake coming up in the next day or two, and then I plan to try and get a feel for the new Origin update and then upload my thoughts afterwards. So hopefully you'll see either of those videos in the near future. But with all that being said, that's the new Origin update. What are you guys doing during the day off? What are the games you playing? I'm gonna go farm stuff in Opera Omnia because the anniversary is going on. and that's pretty much all I'm doing. So with all that being said, hit like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the new Origin update, patch notes, all that's coming. Are you summoning? And we'll see you in the summon video next, and hopefully some other things to come. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Subscribe for more Counterside content in the future, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace.